Richard Hooper, and this is SatTV Week. Now, I'm pleased to be joined by David Andre of Santander Teleport. David, thank you for joining me today. Now, let's start with digitization at the teleport. What does it actually mean?
Yeah, sure, Richard. That's a very good question. Obviously, there are a number of things that are happening right now in the industry. There have been certain forums that are looking into this very heavily, and some standards already on the what we call the digitization of the IF, or the intermediate frequency, or L-band frequency. This is very important for the teleport because it's right in the middle between the baseband systems, the modems, the VSAT hubs, the kind of the modulators and demodulators, and all the radio frequency, equipment, up converters, HPAs, antennas, etc., that we have in our facilities. And what digitization allows us to do is to have all these equipment that traditionally have used very specific hardware that has been built to make a function, like a modulator or a VSAT hub, for example, allows us to move all that, digitize all the intermediate frequency, process it, and have all this equipment basically removed and make a virtual by the use of virtualization, have all these functions, modulator functions, all the processing functions moved into commodity hardware. So effectively, we could have a rack of servers at the teleport, for example, and through the use of virtualization techniques, acquire a license from a technology company to enable a modulator instance, or enable a VSAT network, just by moving to an OpEx model where you pay for a license for the time that you're using it, and you effectively load an application, a kind of let's call it a VSAT application, a modulator application, onto these servers. And you can do that, with any supplier, or any technology partner that allows you to work in this fashion. So it's effectively what is happening in the cloud industry, with a lot of the software, where a lot of the software is not perhaps that it's not being used in specific types of hardware, but it's just an application that you're using in a commodity hardware that could be in your premise, it could be on the cloud. I think from a teleport point of view, there will be some processing elements that are not delay sensitive, that like network management systems, that perhaps will live in the public cloud, and some other elements that are more delay sensitive that will probably live in the teleport. But again, rather than using very dedicated hardware to perform a function, you will just be able to use a stack of servers that you can reuse at any time, to have, let's call it an iDirect instance, or a Hughes instance, or Comtech, or whatever that could be in the future. And that's very exciting, especially in terms of moving from a CapEx to OpEx model, and all the flexibility and scalability that model can offer to a teleport operator.
Now, last year you received Tier 4 certification from WTA. Why is that so important to you?
Well, it's very important because we are a company that is very focused on trying to be the teleport of reference for all the Tier 1 service providers and satellite operators, and also for the government users. And there is a big demand for doing things, working with teleports that can assure a certain levels of resiliency and security, and that can prove that they can meet the KPIs that they claim they can do for the services that are provided, and that can handle the information in a secure way, whether it's information that you are transmitting, or a simple contract, or let's say a transmission plan that you're holding that could contain customer information, etc. The Tier 4 certification from the WTA, what that means is that it puts us at the top level with other teleports in our part of the world, where we are demonstrating that we have the necessary processes and infrastructure and people that allow us to be effectively a top tier teleport, and we can warranty certain. We're doing the best that we can to, and with proven processes and procedures, and with an audited program that puts us in a situation where we can prove that we are putting the best practices to provide the best resilient and secure services for our customers. So we started 3 years ago. We working with the World Teleport Association on this program. 3 years ago, we obtained a Tier 3 certification, and at that time we said, okay, for next time, this certification runs every 3 years. So next time we certify, we need to make sure that we have as an objective to fill all the gaps that we had at that time to become a Tier 4 certification. And from now on, there is no Tier 5 certification. From now on, it's about continuous monitoring and improvement on everything that we do, which is something that we do in other areas, not just to obtain a certification, but we also have an ISO 9001 certified management system and an information security management system as well, which is certified with the ISO 27001 certification. We're also looking at other areas, especially for some of the requirements from the US government that are going to require additional audited programs as well.
Now, been a difficult few years, but you are still planning expansion and you've purchased some new land. What's that intended for?
So right now, the current land where the antenna farm is, the teleport, is pretty full. And if we want to install new large antennas, we need to basically expand, acquire new land. So there is what we're doing is working with the local administration who owns the land, and we have reached an agreement that will allow us to expand to pretty much double the size of our current teleport, from approximately, I think it's 8,500 square meters to, well, approximately double that or a little bit more. So we have a number of projects at the moment, both for GEO and LEO uplink and hosting services. Some of them are quite advanced, and we're right at the moment where we have decided that we need to take the decision and acquire that land so that we can start preparing that with all the civil works that are usually required to make that land part of the teleport and be able to be ready for these services that will come, some of them hopefully in 2023.
David, thank you for talking to us.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me, Richard.